I do fail to understand Wajackoyah. To me, when Wajackoyah tries to talk 2 points, he loses 3 points. So every time he talks, at the end of it, he goes back 1 step. I don't know why. Whatever he talks contradicts himself every now and then. I do remember someone sending me a DM through Messenger. You see, there is an account in his name, and I'd be the last person to say that it is him, unless, of course, we meet and he accepts he's the one. There is several years ago, over 6 years ago, I got a message from that account where he was telling me that I was maybe talking more than I'm supposed to talk. And when I tried to answer, I saw you have been blocked. Of course, I could not answer him on an open forum. I don't know where to start, but let me start this way. We need Wajackoyah to tell us about Masinde Muriro's death. I'm not saying that he had a hand in killing Masinde Muriro. No, he had no hand. But there is something that he has never told us. You know, he tells us things which, with his 12 degrees, which even a 12-year child would not agree with him. For example, he tells us that there was a plan to kill him, and Raila Amolo Odinga saved him. Where, when, how? What I know is that I don't know how it makes sense, but how does it make sense that somebody in detention in committee can know about a senior intelligence officer is about to be killed and save him and save the... I would have even accepted if a detainee committee said that he was to be killed and a senior intelligence officer saved him. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. The other thing that does not make sense to me is that he claims that James Kanyotu assigned him duties to investigate on who killed Ouko and where. Agikuyu maugaga atiriri, henia wanyu, na tondu Wajackoyah ni wa gwitu ri, no mwaka ni arahenia. Sorry. Now, what I want to say is that, okay, leave alone, you know, every witness insists that his version or her version is the right one. So my version is that he was killed in the State House. Let us assume for once that he died anywhere else, but within the boundaries of Kenya. Lodwar, Mandera, Lungalunga, Isbania. Let's take Isbania. No, Isbania. Let's take Isbania for the sake of academy. Let us assume that he died in Isbania. Then James Kanyotu goes to music room, tells somebody who is working in music room, can you go to his bunny and investigate? First of all, I don't think even he himself has ever mentioned. He's saying that he's the one who investigated Ouko's murder. And I don't recall him even saying where Ouko was killed and how he was killed or anything. He just says flatly that I was given the work, and when James Kanyotu retired, those who came after him were not happy with me. Nothing disclosed, nothing revealed. What I would say is this. Assuming for the purpose of theory that he died in his Hispania or even Kapenguria, if he was killed in Kapenguria, Kanyotu used to drive up to that district, and he would know who is handling that case, and he would call that. I remember, I was told, but I didn't see, but I was told that he had a farm, shamba, they call it shake. He had a farm in Nakuru, and there was an industrial action by his workers, which was written by Corporal Clement Gatoko Amutaita. Now, he wrote that intelligence report. It went to the province, it went to Nyati House, and he just sneaks to Nakuru, went there and said, who is Clement? He took him to a hotel. He has to. So if, let's say he died anywhere in Kenya, Nani used to go to that place, look for an SIO, Security Intelligence Officer, who was closest to the case. Now, why didn't he send people? Why didn't he go? Assuming that he died outside the urban areas and whatever, why didn't he go there? Why did he just go to music room and whatever? Talking of music room, I do not know where music room was. I don't know whether it was in Nyati or GPO, but I doubt whether it was in any other place. It may have been one of the two. I do understand that when you join those elite squads, apart from, when you join the police, you take an oath of secrecy. When you join the special branch, you take a second oath of secrecy. And when you join such sections as music room, you take a third one, or a fourth, or whatever, depending on how many units you worked. I do understand, and I do appreciate if Wajackoyah feels and even says that he's bound not to disclose anything. Have you ever heard him talking about music room? Maybe when he was talking, I didn't hear him. So I may understand the omerta on his part on music room. Me, I didn't take a music room omerta. So he may have. But then, ask journalism. Ask journalism from all media houses. There are things they ask me and we reach there and I say, kindly, we cannot talk of that. But on my part, those things that I don't want to talk are things that I consider they are of security nature, even today. Even today. So if for any reason, if he wants to keep quiet here and there because of Merta or because of such conditions as mine, he is free to do that. But what I am against is for him to come up now with the cooked up stories. Oh, I investigated the Uko case. Oh, sijui nini. Oh, people turned against me. People turned against me because I did the investigation that. No. Uko died in State House. Now, back to music room. There were two lines. There were two lists. There were two lists of people who are bad and people who are good. So they were given instructions that never ever dub from this list, but always monitor this. So if you ask me why the president decided to use an unsecure line, I can't explain. It's like if you have studied these crooks, kina Wakinyonga and so on, you'll find that he's very careful, but the day that he lets his guard down for a minute, that happens. But what Moi and the question is, what language did Moi and Biwott talk on phone? I think Wajackoyah one time may come out and tell us. And even if they talked, I've answered you by saying, why did they use an open line? Well, I can't explain, but it happened. And then again, I can say that people who are very careful, on the day you are not careful, is the day you are caught. There's a proverb which says that the day you'll walk naked is the day you'll meet your mother-in-law. That one is such a thing. So the day you'll be careless just once, that is the day you have been crossing Uhuru Highway since a person like me from Pumwani Hospital 1961. I've been crossing Uhuru Highway every day. But the day I'll lose my concentration, the vehicle will hit me and kill me. I hope I've answered that. So during the telephone conversation, Moi told Biwott, unaona kile kitu umenifanyia. And Biwott said, usijali, mashahidi wote nimewanyamazisha. And he took that tape and went with it to Bruce House next to City Hall, where he used that as an opportunity to seek political asylum. That is that. And when he was there, when he was abroad, it was obvious that a united Ford would take over. But there was need for there was prayers on the other side that Ford be broken into two in a very simple mathematics. If Ford is together, they'll get 60% and Kanu gets 40%. But if they are broken into two, each would get 30-30 and Kanu would get 40, something like that. So Matiba went one side, Jaramogi went the other side, and Masinde Muliro offered himself. He offered himself by saying he is ready to unite the two conflicting teams. When he said he was ready, he was given names. He was given names. Those were those days, but nowadays they would have even said kupitia katikati, saying that you want to pretend to be uniting them so that it reaches a time when these people would not want Jaramogi and these people would not want Matiba, and then they would take a neutral person. It is at that time that Wajackoyah, he knew, and let me play the Wajackoyah advocate, is that there are times when the matter you want to pass is very urgent. The matter you want to pass is very urgent, but if you have to use all the whatever, it may go there late. So he rang Masinde Muliro and told him that I wanted to meet you and tell you something. Because if you would have told him that, the message would have passed to Ford to unite. Then they intercepted by the new team in music room, and again, Masinde Muliro, somebody cannot just talk on you on phone and say, hey, I'm Kwatenga, I used to work for Special Branch, and then you allow you go and meet him, man. You may be walking into a trap. So he did his own background check. And when he did those background checks, of course, the intelligence monitored that. And somebody, a Kalenjin gentleman was given instruction to follow him and try and find out what is this that Wajackoyah knows that will bring down the government. So they went, but then when they met in London, they both made sure that they were in an open place where somebody would not come, and they talked in whispering. But the body language, the spring in Masinde Muliro's walking, made this person determine that it is not safe for him to go back. You know, he was told, don't allow him to come back to Kenya if there is even a slightest chance that whatever information he'll come with may bring down the government. So what happened was, in the plane, the man, he identified himself to air hostess and said, you see that person seated on number 66B, seat number 66B. You see this powder? Mix it with whatever he wants to eat or drink. And it is that powder which was mixed with him that provoked a heart attack. I will one day I'll talk about. I've already talked about Masinde Muliro. You know what happened, but I'll come up with a better version. So what we need from Wajackoyah is, when he met Masinde Muliro, what is it that was discussed? What was it was discussed? Let him not beat about the bushes concerning at ABCD. It is our right. We want to know what they discussed and whatever, and him keeping quiet and doing monkey tricks, we don't want. Lastly, on Wajackoyah, I wanted to say this, that Wajackoyah talked of two things. Actually, there were three. He talked of having bang and snake, and maybe he wanted to talk about snakes and us and Kenya having what do you call, hyenas genitals. Those are the things. You know, intelligence officers usually are actuaristic scientists, and we usually talk about that. Because if we have about 1,000 acres somewhere in semi-arid, they can be used as anti-snake venom, anti-venom dawa. We can also use, we also have problems with procuring our mental patients. We have that problem. We import those things. And then I know you'll ask me, if we have 1,000 acres of bank, how sure are we that it will not be used? There are security checks which do happen, because even in Kenya we have a bullet factory, and no, those bullets are not stolen or anything. So there is no need of worry. Those are the things we can do, and then we save a lot of foreign currencies by using it on our mad people, and even exporting some of it. But you see, during the campaign, he was carried away and even started making it as a joke. Thank you.